Hello and welcome to another video demo by the EMC code team. This video is going to be a super simple demo that you can run yourself from your laptop showing data persistence use cases through VirtualBox as a driver. The demo is leveraging the latest rev of RexRay at this time, which is 0.3.1, and this is where we've included a VirtualBox driver, and we've also included functionality for preemption. We'll describe these two as the demo goes on. So in order to follow along with the demo, you can actually go to Jonas Roslin's Vagrant RexRay repo. Now the repo is calling out a few prerequisites, one being Vagrant installed, the second being VirtualBox 5.0.1.0, anything above, and the third being an internet connection. Now first we're going to remove authentication for VirtualBox, and then we're going to start up the SOAP interface for VirtualBox. The SOAP interface is a web service that allows us to communicate with it from RexRay. Now let's go ahead and actually clone the repo that Jonas has created, because this has our Vagrant file in it that we're going to be leveraging. So we clone the repo there, and now we're going to enter it. So before we actually do a Vagrant up on it, as the instructions ask us to do, we're actually going to edit the Vagrant file, because there are some options in here that we may want to change. For this demo, as we look towards the bottom, the piece that we want to change is the preemption flag, because we want to be able to demonstrate that. So we're going to uncomment the very bottom where we set preemption, or the preempt, to true. Other things that could be set in here, such as the RexRay version, are options above, where we could remove existing RexRay and then install one based on a tag such as stable or staged. But for this demo, we'll just leave it as is and simply just uncomment preempt. So now you can see from that Vagrant file that we have two nodes we're requesting. So as we do a Vagrant up, we're going to have RexRay-1 and RexRay-2 started through Vagrant. We're going to speed this process up because typically the download takes some time because it's getting a full CentOS box from Atlas, and then it's also going to be cloning and getting these up within VirtualBox. So we actually have this up and running. We did a Vagrant SSH to RexRay-1 now. We're going to highlight the config file for RexRay so you can see that the settings that we specified had been set correctly. We're going to be storing in the volume path the volumes, and then we also have this mount preempt flag set appropriately. So we're also going to verify before we get going what versions we have. So 0.3.1 was what we're expecting, and the first command we can run after that is a volume ls. Now this volume ls command is going to have RexRay talk with the VirtualBox SOAP API and request all the existing virtual media that's out there right now. So that all looks good. So now we're going to go on to Docker. We can see that Docker was actually a part of this Vagrant image that Jonas created. And it's at version 1.9.1, which is perfect for 0.3.1. So the first step here is going to be creating a persistent volume that we want to be able to attach to multiple hosts. And this persistent volume is going to hold our Postgres data. So we have a Docker run command that actually kicks off a Postgres database, and we're going to modify it slightly to point to the data2 volume that we created earlier. So this data2 volume of 10 gigs of size is now going to be attached to this container that gets started by Docker. You can see that startup process there is what happens when there's no data within a volume detected, where Postgres initiates the database. We're going to switch over here because it successfully started, and you can see that the volume is actually, and the virtual media is attached to the SATA controller running on this first RexRay image. If we switch over to the second RexRay image, you can see that the SATA controller there really has nothing attached to it. So the goal, as we run to the next system, is to actually have that volume attached and a container started. So if we switch to RexRay-2 and we do an sudo, we're going to have the same exact Docker command. And it's going to specify the data2 volume again, and we're going to do a similar download process on this other host. And the point here is that with the persistence and containers, we want to be able to handle scenarios where a container host may fail. So we want any other host to be able to retrieve and connect up to the volume where the data exists. So the preemption capability that was released in 0.3.1 enables us to have Docker be able to grab the volume it needs and then start up the container wherever it needs. So here you can see that the container started and it attached the appropriate volume. In this case, it didn't need to recover it, but it did detect the data that it expected. And there you can go back and see VirtualBox, and you can see that we have the volume attached as expected. Thank you for checking out the demo, and please give it a shot yourself. It's a very easy one to get set up through VirtualBox on your laptop. Have a great day.